All right, and welcome back to Entertainment Review. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Erica. And I'm Courtney.
And we're here for a very interesting episode today. We're going to be talking about The Walking Dead and American Horror, The Intern that Erica and Courtney saw.
Very excited to talk about that.
They had a lot of words about it. And Star Wars Battlefront. It's going to be fun. There's actually stuff in the news to talk about this week. All right, see you then. On to our TV segment. So, Courtney, you were telling me you watched American Horror. I forgot to watch it. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, so American Horror Story Hotel premiered last Wednesday, and I decided to watch the premiere because I'm on an entertainment show, so I should keep up to date with everything. And it was not that great. I feel like it was just 2 hours of
American Horror stuff.
Yeah, and although Lady Gaga, surprise of the season, I'm honestly, if I keep watching, it will just be for her because she's a good actress. Like, I was expecting her to be so over the top. Spoiler alert, she's a vampire.
Which I
it's
called
pretty
the
obvious.
last episode.
All right, Dylan, we get it. She's called the Countess, and she's very, like, stoic and subtle, but a deadly kind of subtle. So it's interesting to see how her character plays out. But plot-wise, storytelling-wise, what is this show about? There's like 5 million different plots going already, and just in the premiere, it doesn't make sense. And I know it's not supposed to because it's American Horror Story, but I feel like it transcends the making
like a good plot.
Yeah, like it's not mysterious. It's just irritating. And I do have to say, there was an unnecessary sexual assault scene. I won't get into it because it was very disturbing. But if you watched it, you know what I'm talking about. Or if you didn't watch it, it's been over the internet for the past week. Why? That's all I have to say. Stop doing things like that for shock value. I feel like it happens on American Horror Story every season. Game of Thrones also. We need to stop doing that.
I mean, there's an entire TV show about shock value.
I know.
That we refuse to watch. Side note, Scream Queens is still bad.
Yeah.
It's not worth your effort.
It's so bad.
On the positive note for TV, though, Walking Dead, yeah, keep watching it. It's great. Season started out strong. Usually, you know, when a new season starts, it's like, oh, we have to remind the viewers what the characters are, who they are, what they do. Nope, it just runs right back into the action of it, and it's very enjoyable. They did it very well, and it doesn't feel like there was that year time between the seasons.
So even though Walking Dead's been on for what? What season is this?
This is season 6.
So 6 seasons of them trying to survive a zombie apocalypse, running from zombies. It doesn't feel like the same old thing.
Well, the show's about more the drama. Like, the set pieces change on a semi-regular basis. Like season 1, season 2 were in the farm, or season 3, 4 were the set pieces changes, but like the drama of like survival and human interaction, all this stuff, that doesn't change. They have their big threat of the weeks, like this episode's about
any show.
The water's bad today.
Yeah.
Next week's about a zombie getting in, but they try and spice it up a little bit.
So would you say the point of The Walking Dead is more about humans relying on each other to survive than the actual zombie? Like, is it more about human interaction and relationship, especially in a time of crisis?
Well, like, that's old, good zombie. Like, the original zombie movies were like that. So Walking Dead keeps in that fine tradition. But they're also understanding that, zombies aren't everything, and they're trying to rebrand with that new show, Fear the Walking Dead, which was great. Movie, little clips, video games, comic books, which they started out as a comic book, but they're trying to spread out their franchise like American Horror does. American Horror tries to spice things up. You might not like it.
Yeah. In the wrong way.
It might be in the wrong way, as you're saying, but they still try and keep it like, oh, we're not just going to be spooky ghost house for 6 seasons.
Right. But I think there's a fine line between spicing it up and going too far. And I think The Walking Dead is perfectly on that line. American Horror Story is way over it.
Well, that's our TV segment. But again, though, Scream Queens, just don't watch it.
No.
Yeah.
Do not.
Thank you,
Not
guys.
even for the clothes.
No. Or the actresses. Or actors, no. That's TV segments, though. And on to Erica and yourself for movies.
See you then.
So Courtney and I went to go see The Intern last night, and I have to say that it was probably one of the best feel-good movies I've seen in a really long time.
Yeah, I have to agree. I wasn't really sure what to expect from this movie because from all the promotional stuff, it looked a little cheesy, and I'm like, oh, they're gonna have so many dumb old man jokes.
Yes.
And not really. I was pleasantly surprised.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of went into it with the idea that it was gonna be more of a comedy. Like I didn't like. I thought it was like, okay, like old man goes back to work.
Yeah,
Like
in a
can't
very-
work a computer. But it was like they really like. I don't know. It was just like everything that you thought was going to happen, or like you were kind of like, oh, that's like it's going to be cheesy because of this. It wasn't. It like really exceeded my expectations.
It was not a cliche, which
Yes.
was great. You know, we're not going to try and give away spoilers if you haven't seen it yet. But Robert De Niro's character is a widower, and he basically is just bored with his life. He's retired. He's done everything he can. He traveled, he does yoga, he took Mandarin classes, and he just really misses going somewhere and meeting new people.
And like being wanted and needed. And
Yeah.
like having like, I guess like, what is the
A
word?
purpose.
A purpose in life.
So he ends up working this company, basically kind of like a mod cloth or like a nasty gal, like a clothing
guilt,
company.
yeah.
Just Fab, like a clothing company in Brooklyn that is called About the Fit. And Anne Hathaway's character is the founder and creator of that company, and she is an extremely dedicated hard worker to her company and to her customers and to her employees. And Robert De Niro is assigned to work as her intern.
And I know we talked about this last night, but it was just very nice to see a woman. I mean, she has a family at home, and she's not the villain.
No.
It's not, you know, and Robert De Niro's not saying like you should go home and be with your family. Like he's fully supportive, and it was just really nice to see this, I guess, different generation relationship that wasn't like your generation is wrong because of this. They were both just very accepting of each other.
Right.
And
it was really nice to watch and to see that develop over the film. You know, I feel like usually with intergenerational relationships like that, I mean, not like romantic relationships, like professional and later friendships, there's so much criticism. It's like, back in my day, we women were at home, or like, well, and old man, get with the technology. No, they both learned from each other. They adapted and developed based on their experiences with each other.
Yeah, and that's like, that really was honestly the best part of the movie for me, just because I feel like, you know, we're both seniors, so we're going to be graduating, we're going to be getting these jobs, and all I keep hearing from everyone who's older is like, your generation doesn't know how to work, your generation like doesn't know how to do this, and it's like this battle between the different, like, you know, the battle between all these different generations, and where this movie, it highlighted like the best parts of them and how we can learn from each other.
Yes, and like you said about Anne Hathaway, she has a child, she's married, she's a little girl, and she puts in so much effort and time at her office, but she also puts it in at home too. Yes, she misses birthday parties and she misses school events, but you can tell, and they show it through the film, that she loves her daughter and she would do anything for her daughter, which means working hard to provide for her. You know, and I said this to you last night, I feel like shows and movies, when they show a woman trying to have it all and a working mom, they're painted as a villain. They are neglectful and they don't pay attention and they don't care.
And their kids are brats, and their kids like, or they're spoiled because the mother's trying to buy their love, and like, you could definitely say that that was not the case with this. And like we were saying before, it was just very refreshing, because usually like men who are from the generation that Robert De Niro's from is like, you should go home and be with your family, but he was actually defending her. When people were saying like, oh, of course, you know, she's not here, he was like, well, shouldn't you be proud that somebody who was a stay-at-home mom is now out there and owns this company that's so successful and is thriving? Like, shouldn't you be proud of her?
That was an amazing
put a lot
part of the film. There's
women,
that scene when they were in the park.
in their place.
One complaint I do have though is there was no racial diversity at all.
You're right, there wasn't.
It was whiter than me.
It was, and you know what? I feel like you kind of, when it comes down to it, if a movie is focusing on an issue, they usually, like you said, like, it's whiter than you.
Yeah.
So their issue was feminism.
Right,
and
working moms, which is great because we need more films like that, because the first example I come to is Miranda from Sex and the City, who couldn't get her stuff together when she had a kid, eventually did, but they, you know, portrayed her as very like...
a villain.
Yeah.
She was bad
villain for wanting to work. While it's great that we had a character like Anne Hathaway's portrayed in the way it was, there's still a problem. No diversity.
They're, like, even in The Office,
come on,
there
guys.
was no diversity.
But the film took place in Brooklyn, which is one of the most like diverse
areas of the
country.
There was nothing. But I mean, great film. I would definitely recommend
yes.
you going out to see it if you're interested in what we're talking about. Also, we will be going to see more movies
yes,
because we are an entertainment review show and we talk a lot about trailers, but when it comes to getting up off our couches and seeing the movies that we talk about, we're bad at that part. So we're going to improve and see them and let you guys know what we think of them.
Yeah, but definitely check out The Intern. It was a pleasant surprise. It was a very relaxing film.
Yes, it was just lighthearted and funny, and it had its, you know, touches of every emotion. I feel like it kind of like, I was happy, I was sad, I was angry, and then like, you know, the child. Okay, before we stop, the actress who played Anne Hathaway's child was the definition of adorable.
Yeah, she was the cutest thing ever, and she was so great, and she had great chemistry with Robert De Niro.
Yes,
everyone.
It was just like the like
I will adopt her one day.
Yeah,
no,
perfect casting. She needs to be in more films, and I will go see them.
One last thing I have to say though, this movie was so relatable to me. Like you said, we are seniors, we're graduating. I plan on being a working woman. Not really sure if I'll be a working mom, but
we have to find the husband and, you know, the family
it's
before
a lot
that.
Of things, but it really like made me think about things and like, because I feel like people always say, well, you want to have a job like that? What if you want a family?
Yeah, and this showed that you can have both.
Yep. Thank you, Nancy Myers.
Yes, thank you.
Also, add more diversity to your films.
Next time.
That's an issue. All right. Well, that's all we have about the intern.
Welcome to the game segment. Today we get to talk about Star Wars Battlefront's beta that came out last week. Now, everybody was really excited about it. It's the first time we get a big Star Wars game like this in almost a decade. So there was a lot of hopes and dreams on it. Other than the game looking fantastic, the sounds look fantastic, the snow, it's a very beautiful looking game, and it's a very Star Wars game. The gameplay isn't up to par, I feel, and there's a few other people as well that agree with me. They got the changes from the Star Wars Battlefront 2 to Star Wars Battlefront. They're remaking it effectively and rebranding again. There's no classes, spawns are just you die, you come back, and the balance is really off, and it's more than just a beta issue. The game's coming out in December, so I don't think they're going to fix/change that much within a span of like a month or two. Gameplay-wise, there's no classes, as I said. There's a progression system. If you like progressions, that's great. It doesn't play like a Battlefront game. The respawn's instant. It just doesn't feel or play like the other games, and how it does play is a lot more like a very spammy Call of Duty, which if you're looking for that, that's great, but it's just not what the original experience is like. I'm hoping that as the beta gets closer and closer to the release date, they'll keep expanding more maps and game types, but as it is now, there's the Walker Assault game mode, which is horribly unbalanced and just, after a while, just wave tactics and you being spawn camped for 10 minutes, or spawn camping for 10 minutes is really easy. Or drop ship or drop zone or drop pod, whatever it was called, which is a bit closer to more normal gameplay styles of, you know, capture points and stuff like that, but it's very infantry guy focused. It's just, I had a lot of fun with it for about 2-3 hours, and then I just realized I'm not going to buy it. I'm kind of disappointed, and I wish I could be more excited about it. But if anything changes, I'll change my tune. But until then, there's no reason to buy it unless you really need a Star Wars game. But that's the video game segment, as sad as that is. Thank you. And that's the end of the show, everybody. Did you guys have fun?
I did, and I'm very excited to see what we discuss next week.
Mm-hmm. And Halloween episode's coming up soon.
Yeah. 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks.
2 weeks. See you then. Have a good one, everybody.